Welcome to the fascinating world of literary mysteries. Today, we dive into one of the most intriguing authorship puzzles of recent times. Is J.K. Rowling really the writer behind Robert Galbraith's The Cuckoo's Calling? This question sparked a media frenzy and led to the use of advanced computational techniques to uncover the truth. In this video, we'll explore how stylometry, especially Burrows Delta and the stylo package, have been used to tackle this case. Get ready to discover how science meets literature and why the answer isn't as simple as it seems. Let's begin our journey into the heart of authorship detection. Before we get into the details of the Rowling-Galbraith case, let's clarify what stylometry is. Stylometry is the scientific study of writing style, using statistical analysis to identify patterns in texts. It's a powerful tool for determining authorship, especially when traditional literary analysis falls short. By examining word frequencies, sentence structures, and other linguistic features, stylometry can reveal hidden connections between texts. In the digital age, tools like the R package, Stylo, have made these analyses accessible to researchers and even curious readers. Now, let's see how these methods were applied to the Rowling case. 2013, a novel called The Cuckoo's Calling was published under the name Robert Galbraith. Suspicion grew about the true identity of the author, and soon, the Sunday Times launched an investigation. They consulted experts like Peter Milliken and Patrick Juola, who used stylometric techniques to compare the writing style of Galbraith's novel with works by J.K. Rowling and other contemporary crime writers. Their findings pointed strongly to Rowling, prompting her to confirm the authorship. This was a major victory for stylometry, showing its potential to solve real-world literary mysteries. One of the most influential tools in stylometry is Burrows Delta, introduced by John Burroughs in 2002. Delta measures the stylistic distance between texts by comparing the frequencies of the most common words. The smaller the delta value, the more similar the styles. The stylo package for R made this method widely accessible, allowing researchers to quickly visualize and compare texts. But as we'll see, the effectiveness of delta depends heavily on the choice of comparison texts, or distractors. Let's look at how this played out in the Rowling case. Stylo package includes a built-in dataset for the Rowling-Galbraith case, but it has some major flaws. The distractor texts are mostly by authors like C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote in different genres and eras. Only Harlan Coben, a contemporary detective writer, is a relevant comparison. This skewed selection makes the analysis too easy, as genre and time period have a huge impact on writing style. For a fair test, we need to compare Galbraith's novel to works by modern crime writers, just as Patrick Juola did in his original study. Truly test Burrows Delta, researchers built new corpora of contemporary detective and fantasy novels. For the detective genre, they included works by Tana French, Graham Macri Burnett, and Stuart Turton. For fantasy, they used books by Frida Warrington, Brandon Sanderson, and Jonathan Stroud. By comparing Galbraith's and Rowling's novels to these more relevant texts, the analysis becomes much more rigorous. This approach helps eliminate bias and gives us a clearer picture of whether the writing styles really match. When Burrows Delta was applied to these improved datasets, the results were mixed. Against the backdrop of contemporary fantasy, Delta clearly linked Rowling and Galbraith's works. However, in the detective corpus, the answer was less certain. The distances between Galbraith and Rowling were close, but not always the smallest. This suggests that while Delta is powerful, it can be influenced by genre conventions and the specific texts chosen for comparison. Visualizations like cluster analyses and heat maps helped researchers interpret these nuanced results. To address the limitations of Delta, researchers also used the imposters algorithm, a more recent addition to the stylo package. This method compares the target text to multiple candidates and imposters, providing a probability score for each. In both the detective and fantasy corpora, the imposters algorithm consistently identified Rowling as the most likely author of Galbraith's novel. However, in the detective set, another author, Graham Macri Burnett, also scored high, showing that even advanced methods can have ambiguities. Still, the imposters approach offers a more robust answer than Delta alone. Does Burrows Delta really confirm that Rowling and Galbraith are the same author? The answer is nuanced. Delta works well in some scenarios, especially with carefully chosen comparison texts, but it's not foolproof. The imposter's algorithm provides stronger evidence, but even it can't guarantee absolute certainty. Ultimately, stylometry is a powerful tool, but it works best when combined with thoughtful research design and an understanding of literary context. The Rowling-Galbraith case shows how science and literature can come together to solve mysteries, but also reminds us that some questions may never have a simple answer.